Welcome to episode 3 of Awaken the Inner Warrior with Marshall. Today I have Larry Kwolek with me, who is an Aikido and Kenjutsu black belt and an ex-military personnel who served as a captain in the S4. Larry here has reinvented himself as a senior IT consultant and he's a successful family man also. And today we'll be discussing about how he implemented his military and martial arts skills in his personal and professional life and what helped him to become successful in the professional and personal areas of his life. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Great to see you again. All right. So, Larry, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I did a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree at Syracuse University, and I was a sculptor and printer, and I was showing and selling in New York until I was 26. I designed different houses as well and worked with architects to renovate places. And then at the age of 26, I thought, well, I'm getting a bit older. If I want to go into the military, I need to do it. So at 26, I joined the officer candidate program and went through OCS to become a captain in armored cavalry and armored operations. And then I got my advanced certificate in infantry officer school.
Wow. So okay, that's a huge change from the art world to the army. Yeah. I mean, where did you find a parallel?
I think the challenge of leading people was very interesting to me or appealing to me. And the challenge of testing myself, both physically and mentally. I think as an artist, you live in a very closed environment surrounded by like-minded people. Although it's a creative environment, it doesn't reflect maybe the real world. In the Army, especially the soldiers, they come from all walks of life, and you have a much wider range of personalities and challenges as a leader to lead a diverse group of people that can come from some farm in the middle of Iowa to, a kid from the ghetto in the Bronx.
Wow. Okay. And what brings all these people together? What's the common ground?
I think everybody wants to better themselves and to find themselves and to challenge themselves.
So people in the army, they go through like an intense personal development as well as the physical development, right?
Yeah, I think actually the mental part, you don't see it because it's a reflection of the challenges that the soldiers and officers face. But all of the physical activity we do is designed to develop a person psychologically.
Interesting. And what are the qualities and skills that they master psychologically that makes them better?
Several things, really. One of the first ones is creating motivation for the team, to put the team in front of self, to put the mission in front of yourself, that even though this is hard or terrible or risky, the mission comes first, the people around you come first. The other thing is to overcome your fear, to overcome all the mental reservations and roadblocks people have towards performance. Everything from feelings of inadequacy, of not being able to do something, to feelings of being afraid of the physical aspects of whatever you're doing. So you have things like confidence courses in the Army where you're running over obstacles, climbing tall towers, shimmying down ropes and dropping off of cliffs, all to overcome your fear of these physical risks. But at the same time, you're developing the confidence to execute under stress, and you're doing it for the greater good.
That's very interesting. And do you think that these qualities could be cultivated without the intense physical training somehow?
Well, the basis of all Army training throughout millennia has always been to overcome these types of obstacles.
Right.
And I don't know. I guess through, if you look at Zen and you look at different types of reflective activities, maybe they have some of that same route where you're instead of being highly active, you're absolutely still and maintaining that stillness. So you have to develop the same kind of rigorous self-control.
Right.
That might be similar. I don't know. I'm not a Zen master, so I don't know if the other routes
Sure.
work the same way or not.
We're just talking, but it's very interesting to meditate on this a little bit, especially like for someone who doesn't necessarily want to enroll in rigorous military training for various reasons, maybe already committed to professional life, or to you have a family or something like that, and you don't feel like it's the time for that in your life, or you passed the time to do that.
There are simpler things that can have the same sort of effect that don't require such intense physical activity. I think you're probably very well aware of one exercise where you have someone stand on a table, and you have maybe 8 or 6 people at the end of the table, and the person has to close their eyes and fall backwards into their hands.
Right.
They have to overcome the fear of falling. They have to develop the trust for their colleagues. That's one example of where it doesn't require intense physical effort, but still kind of develops the same mentality or mental state that you want to apply.
That's very interesting. And what other skills did you cultivate from your martial art training or your military training, other than the physical skills?
Well, my teacher was Soji Nishio, who was an 8th Dan black belt in Aikido and 7th Dan in karate and 5th in judo. If I'm not, he may be higher than that and the other two, but he had also studied several other martial artists. I mean, if you wanted to find someone that really had a well-rounded experience and an in-depth experience of Aikido, you couldn't get much better than Nishio. And watching him or working with him in classes and seminars was really a treat, because every time I always learned something new from him. The one thing I'd like to share with you today is that I asked him one time, how does he teach people? And because I saw him going around, and he would just make one correction on each student. And the normal aspect for a young teacher, as I was at the time, was you say, oh, your stance is wrong, and your balance is too far forward, and you're moving too quickly this way, or you're not moving, to tell someone like a laundry list of things. And Nishio never did that. Nishio Sensei took one thing, and he said, your foot needs to go here, or move yourself this way. And then he'd let that person work on that, maybe as long as they needed. If it was all morning class, fine. If it was all seminar for 5 days, fine. When he felt that he had gotten that thing right, he came back to the student and gave him the next step.
Right.
So he didn't overwhelm him with 5 things at one time. He just gave them one thing to work on, fix that, then move to the next thing. Of course, Nishio saw all of those 5 things, or maybe 10 or 20 things that needed to be done. But he tried to pick the most important one that would lead to success for the future.
So would you say that if someone was to improve their professional or personal life, then it could be applied a similar way, maybe, to break it down to like bite-sized pieces, rather than overwhelming themselves with a lot of tasks, focusing on one thing at a time, fixing that and advancing that way? Do you think that would work in a personal or professional advancement in life also?
I'm sure it would, yeah. In fact, if you ever saw the interview of the admiral who was in charge of the SEALs, talking about what to do, how to fix your life, he said, start off by making your bed in the morning.
Oh, oh yes, I think I saw that video, right? Yeah.
And it's the same idea, right? You take one simple task and you do it right, and you get that right, and you do it consistently, and you maintain that consistency. And then you can take the next step and the next step and the next step.
Are there any other martial arts philosophies that can be applied in everyday life?
Well, one of the things I like about, I think every martial art has philosophies that can be applied in everyday life. And different martial arts teach different things. I mean, if I'm not a karate master, so maybe I shouldn't speak out of turn, but I have studied karate, and to me, karate is about applying and focusing force, right? About developing, strength in the punch and delivering the maximum amount of force from your body through the ground to your body and out those three knuckles or two knuckles. So if you want to take a philosophy on that, you say, put all your energy into the direction you want to go and to use everything you have, right? Combate, do your best. Aikido, I think the thing that I learned most about Aikido is I apply it to my negotiations and strategy when I work with people, in that if someone is let's say someone's upset and they're very aggressive and they're being sort of maybe attacking me verbally or complaining or bringing some problem that they're unhappy with, and they're all emotional and have hard feelings about something. One of the easiest ways to diffuse that is to what we call in Aikido, do a tenkan, or turn, 180-degree turn. And so you take that incoming energy and you turn in the same direction as the attacker, your partner, and you reinforce that movement. And he says, oh, this is all screwed up. You're right. This is really screwed up. We need to talk about how we can fix this, because this can't be like this. We have to do something about this. This can't be, we can't continue this way. And the person will be like, yeah.
Good negotiation strategy, right?
So agree with them and agree with them with utter sincerity, and be honest with yourself, because if you try to do it in an insincere way, it doesn't work. It falls, you fall on your face. You just trip on yourself. But if you're really, and you look at things from their perspective, and you try and bring their perspective out and give them the freedom to vent and to talk and to express themselves, and go with them. And then as they start to be overextended, they'll start to slow down. They'll start to be hesitant. They'll start to be off balance. And at that point, you can turn that energy in maybe a more productive way to come to a solution. So, well, what do you think we should do? I don't know what we should do. Well, what if we did something like this, or this, or this? Do you think that would help? Yeah, maybe that would help. Maybe we could do that, right? So if we could do a technique, and I could show you this in movement, and it's the same idea. Someone punches at you, sidestep, you lead that movement on. Maybe you reinforce the movement with your hands, lead them off to a balance, and then you start to turn that into a circle and a spiral to take them down to the ground where they're safe and solid and you're in control.
Wow, that's very interesting. I'll have to try that in my future negotiations for sure. Definitely, you mentioned force before, and force has a very negative connotation, especially at this day and age. And obviously, as humanity, we came to appreciate peace, and it's more about maintaining this peace because we enjoy the quality of life we have attained, and I think we live better than any of our ancestors have ever did. So, of course, force has a very negative connotation, which brings me to my next question is, what does it take to be a warrior at this day and age, like in everyday life? So this relating to the traditional sort of image of the fighting, aggressive, brutal warrior, like what's a warrior like in everyday life?
Well, a warrior has a very interesting connotation because it has everything spanned from the brigand, who is totally selfish and doing fighting for personal benefit, to the warrior that is fighting for society's good or to protect. in Japanese, they have a phrase, the sword that kills and the sword that saves. And it's the two sides of being a warrior. You can kill someone with a sword, or you can save a life with a sword.
Right.
And both that's the yin and yang of being a warrior. Is, I think it's up to each person to decide who they are and how they express that in their lives. For me to be a warrior now means to do what's right, protect my family, support my friends, and to be a valuable member of society. You know? And maybe that's just standing up against injustice sometimes.
Where does courage come from? Is it really just from experience, or is there any other way to develop courage?
Well, courage starts with your relationship with your parents. You know, the examples you see as a child are what formulate your personality later in life, and both good and bad. So if you don't have good examples as a child, you have to find other examples as you're going up, and you have to overcome all that patterned training that you subconsciously adopted from youth to behave in a less courageous way. We have patterns built up from childhood, whatever it is. I mean, my family, when they were growing up, every time there was a celebration or there's something good happened, we would go out for dinner. So eating has always been my challenge, right? I overeat, or I like good food. I like to cook. It's a big part of my childhood through adulthood, as this was how you are rewarded in life. Yeah. And only in the last, 5-10 years have I really begun to realize how much of an impact that's had. And it's something that I'm working on now, is how do I appreciate food without overindulging? Or how do I maintain the right level of appreciation, or put it in its place in my life without losing the joy of it? Someone suggested going to a hypnotist, and they said, "Oh, they'll just make you not like food anymore." Well, I don't want that. I don't want to be.
Sure not.
I don't want to be mentally blocked from enjoying what I have, but rather to put the balance in where it needs to be.
Yeah, and balance is really so important in everything in life, whether it comes to training or whether it comes to like managing your work and personal life, etc. But balance is such a key thing. And I think in martial arts, it's something that they teach also, how to maintain a good balance and power during combat, etc. Right?
Yeah, and even in breathing, like you are taught the basic of many martial arts in the beginning is you're taught to strike on the exhale, right?
That's right, yes.
Right. But there's also a higher level in some martial arts in Japan on how to strike on the inhale.
Okay, I have not heard of that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, and when you can do that, actually, in fact, he talks a little bit about this in Bruce Lee. He talks about hitting on the beat and the offbeat, right?
Right. We have a book here called The Tao of Jeet Kune Do from Bruce Lee, which Larry gave me, and he was just referring to this just for you.
So it's also in Chinese martial arts as well. So, when you're fighting with someone, there's often this kind of rhythm built up, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, hit, block, hit, block, hit, block. And if you can do hit, block, hit, block, hit, where you hit on the half beat, which essentially means you have to hit on the inhale.
Wow. Okay. There is something very interesting that I saw in this book, and this brings me back to the beginning of our interview a little bit, when you were saying about the training in the army, about letting go of yourself. And there is a quote here from a Taoist priest. I won't read the whole thing. Maybe you could read this out for the audience.
Which part are you interested in?
Actually, where was it? Victory is for the one, even before the combat, who has no thought of himself, abiding in the no-mindness of great origin. It's very interesting reading that or meditating on that thought for me as well, about letting go of everything and just clearing your mind and focusing yourself on the goal and not thinking about yourself at all.
Yeah, Sun Tzu said the same, very similar quotes, in that the one who knows his enemy will win many battles. The one that knows himself will win all battles.
Well, yet he says, like, not to think about yourself. You have to know yourself, but not thinking about yourself and just having this no mind state is it's really difficult to attain for every people or the ordinary folk, I think.
Well, yeah, that's the acceptance of yourself as being mortal, of being vulnerable, of can you put your mind past the fact, the concept or possibility of your own death to achieve your goal. Someone that can do that is going to persevere and succeed over those that are concerned with their own life. Beyond that,
It's not so much mortality these days, but I think a lot of people are striving for perfection in their appearance, in everything that they do. They have this obsession that everything has to be perfect. And I don't actually know where this comes from, but I observe it on a daily basis that people want to make things perfect. And if things don't work out perfect, they're so dissatisfied or displeased with themselves. So
it's one of the biggest hang-ups I see in large, corporations too, is that they are held back by their fear of failure, or their fear of maybe just not being perfect.
yeah, that's right. So it's not so much just about mortality, but it's also about the fear of failure, right?
Yeah. Because in many companies, it's the perception of you is more important than the reality in what happens. I mean, as I work generally as a project manager, and so project manager is all about tangible deliverables. It's about making things happen and delivering a successful solution. But at a higher level of management, it's about perception and making sure that the perceptions are set properly and managing those perceptions. So you could have a very successful project that delivers exactly what was in the charter for the project, but it could be considered a failure if someone high enough up misconstrues the goals of the project. So you say, I'm doing A, and they say, well, but we want B, but that's not what we're doing. We're doing A. Well, then you suck. It's terrible. It's a failure. Now, wait a minute. We always said we were going to do A. Don't make excuses. So at the highest level of management, you have to manage that perception and manage the expectations of what you're doing. So this is where that fear of failure comes in. If I can't manage those expectations properly, well, one way to manage those expectations is to do everything by the book, exactly as the company's regulations and processes are dictated. And then you can't blame me. Well, I didn't get B. Yes, but we did it exactly according to what we were told to do.
So how to overcome this kind of risk awareness or this fear of, being put on the spot?
There are many techniques. One thing is you have to have dialogue with your stakeholders and your sponsors early in the process. You have to agree what you're going to deliver. And as things change, you'll find, as you go through the process of an analysis on what your project is, you find that things have to be done differently. And 9 times out of 10, the team will forget to keep the stakeholders and the managers above them informed as to how things have changed. So you've progressed to this point over here and you think you're doing great. Well, this didn't work, so we had to do it this way and we got it, but it's going to work great like this. But then you go back to your stakeholders and say, well, we're doing this now. And they go like, wait a minute, we were going to do that. Why are we doing this now? So you have to maintain that connection, that communication throughout the process as things evolve, to keep people on your side, to keep people aware, to keep their support.
So connection and communication is kind of key. I think that's also the case, like when you're trying to improve your social relationship, your social standing. It's all about communication and just having those open channels and the connection between people, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's very apparent now in commercial life is that we call it, for lack of a better term, the American style of management is probably the most successful, followed by maybe the German style. But every culture has its own style, and you have a British style of management, you have a Chinese style of management, Indian style of management, Czech style, Russian style. The one characteristic that really separates the American modern management style apart from others, that makes it pretty successful, is that American style of management focuses on outcomes and not on placing blame, or
Right.
yeah, we want to know why something happened, but it's not in order to nail somebody against the wall. I've been in meetings in Russia where we had a problem and the people spent 45 minutes out of the hour trying to figure out who was responsible for the problem and less than 15 minutes on solving the problem. Whereas in an American meeting or American style meeting, the opposite is true. You spend a majority of your time trying to solve the problem. And still in the back of the manager's mind is that, well, Yishi screwed this up, and if he screws up again, we're going to have to look at him, but it's not the focus of the meeting. The focus of the meeting is, how do we fix this problem so we can move ahead?
Right. So what advice would you give to those who are looking to improve their professional lives?
I think the first thing that struck me in the Army was, there's a lot of stuff you just don't want to do. There's a lot of crap you have to do. Whether I literally, it's almost like a joke now, but I literally was given a task of peeling potatoes in the Army one time. But there's all kinds of things, from cleaning the equipment to, you come off of 2 weeks in the field and you don't just go to bed. No, you spend 4 hours at 4 o'clock in the morning washing the mud off the tank and scraping it off, by hand, and being cold and wet. And I think the biggest lesson you learned is, my drill sergeant said, you don't have to like it, you just have to do it. And you have to learn to overcome your dislike, your being cold, tired, wet, and hungry, to accomplish whatever needs to be accomplished, till you get to the point where everything is correct, and then you can take your rest. Then you can enjoy yourself. But until you have everything, all your duties fulfilled, that doesn't happen, no matter what.
Would you call that discipline? It's
the development of discipline.
It's a development of discipline.
That's how you develop discipline. And of course the Army was really big on checklists. So you had to have, it wasn't like you could it wasn't up to you to guess what the results were. You had a checklist and you worked that checklist, and when that checklist was done, then you were done. But it wasn't up to you to change that or modify that without, supervision.
But talking about perfection previously, like the Army, they really adamant on perfection and executing everything to the T. Obviously, like it's a fine machine. If one piece doesn't work, then the whole thing fall apart. Whereas life is a bit more fluid, or
it is in the modern world, because we have telephones and we can react more quickly now and we can change things. But at the same time, I've noticed in my children, for example, that they don't know what to do, or they don't know how to make a plan. They just, whatever comes up, oh, well, my friend Robin's not going to be able to join us today, so we'll go with Amy. It's not like, people need to learn how to plan. It's not a natural process, and we tend to think of it as it is. But if you want to be efficient in life, you want to use your time the best way, you have to have a plan. So, I mean, yourself, you probably have a certain time you get up in the morning, you have an exercise regime that you do at a regular time every day or every other day, right? You have a plan for your life, and you fit everything around that plan.
I'm terrible like that. I plan everything, actually. I'm an over planner. Right?
But that's how you are successful. Is otherwise, the one critical resource we all have and we never can get back is you can make more money, but you can't make more time.
No, you can't. You really cannot. No. Everybody has the same 24 hours every day, and it's about how you utilize those 24 hours and how you decide to divide it up between the different tasks you have to perform. And sure, if you have a plan for your day, then you can use your time more efficiently. But that's just my personal take on it.
So I think the modern generation tends to emphasize spontaneity and being able to grab hold of new opportunities when they come, and that's valid. I mean, that's valid in any case. If you're in a martial arts situation and someone drops their shoulder, drops their arm, and leaves their head unprotected, you don't sit around saying, well, my plan is to hit him on the left side, so I'm not going to hit him on the right side where he's open, right? You have to react instantaneously to that opening and take it. But at the same time, it's not bad to have a plan, to study your opponent. If it's a professional fight, to look at videos of him. What does he do? What is it? What are his combinations? How does he normally attack? What are his weaknesses? What openings does he leave? Every time he throws his right fist in a roundhouse, he drops his elbow. Well, then you practice that against your sparring partner. He throws it and drops his elbow, and you immediately launch into that attack. So when you get into the ring with that person and that same situation comes, you've prepared for that eventuality.
That's right. Like all professional fighters, they go into a fight having a plan. But when the need comes and the situation changes, then they know how to adapt. And it's also important, I think, not to be too rigid with the plans, but to be able to adapt your plans to your circumstances and the way the situation evolves if it goes different to what you envisioned.
And that's the balance I think we're all looking for. In judo, they talk about, someone having a money move.
What's a money move?
A money move is where they'll practice 2 or 3 techniques tens of thousands of times.
Right.
And it becomes so fluid and so fast that in the right situation, it's almost impossible to, if you're the opponent, to not get taken that way. Because if you're caught inside of someone's money move at the right time and you're off balance, he's going to throw you. Because it's just happened so fast that all of their neurons are firing properly. They've got he's worked thousands of times on the kinesthetics of the whole thing. His balance is just right, and he's going to throw you. But if you don't give him that opportunity for that particular move, they don't have anything else. So you have to have this balance between planning and preparation and very strong techniques that are solid, that you've done thousands and thousands of times, and also the ability to adapt and to open yourself up to new opportunities that you didn't expect. That's the balance we're trying to reach, I think, in everyday life too.
Absolutely. Now I'm thinking about more the professional side of things and about this concept of money move. And I think a money move in professional life would be like to attain a niche skill, like to get yourself really good in one niche field, like you did with project management and IT, and then you become like an expert in your field, and that's your money move. Like when the need arises, you know how to tackle it immediately.
Yeah, and you with time you want to broaden that out. So, but you're absolutely right. I came into IT sort of through a back door, because when I was in the Army, my first experience with computers was I had a company commander who had a personal computer, and he was a little geek guy, and he was pretty cool, and he put all of the company's statistics and vital information into the computers. So it seems very easy now, but back then it was very radical to have anything that in a computer that wasn't on paper, like the assignments and everything from shoe sizes of the personnel and clothing sizes to the inventory lists and so on. So I got this experience with computers rather early. And when I went to my next assignment, I helped the signal officers, traditionally in a unit responsible for computers. I helped him do some simple tasks. The next thing I know, I was assigned as the computer guy. And I thought, this is terrible. I'm supposed to be a squadron leader. I'm supposed to be out, running around on tanks and Bradleys and stuff. And this is not, a very martial job, which is for promotion and career moves, what you're supposed to do. So a couple of weeks later, I'm riding with the colonel, the squadron commander. We're out on a 10-mile run, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning through the snow-covered Bavarian hillside. And I come up on the squadron commander, and I start talking to him. I said, "Sir, I'm really not a computer expert. I just know a little bit." He goes, "Well, I just came out of the Pentagon, and I know how computers can really help and advance, a military unit." And I said, "Okay, great, but I really don't know everything that I need to know." And he said, "Well, there are schools in the system. You just tell the XO what schools you need." And okay, so the next year and a half, I was going to some kind of training course once or twice a month for a week. I was on TDY, learning about Unix and Windows and networking and computer repair and databases and programming. And after a year and a half, I was basically, the equivalent of a bachelor's degree, sort of hands-on with fixing and taking computers. So I got out of the Army, and I leveraged that into a position. Somebody saw me and met me and offered me a job as director of the IT department for the Army Department of Engineering and Housing for the state of Bavaria. So at that time in the Army, we had 28 bases in Bavaria, and there was a construction department under the Directorate of Engineering, responsible for building and maintaining all those bases. And we had a $440 million construction budget, and I had 5 IT guys, and I managed those IT guys. So I leveraged my leadership abilities that I'd learned in the Army and my knowledge of IT to the extent that I could manage a team of IT people.
That's incredible. That's an amazing testimony to what you said earlier as well about planning and being adaptable, because you went into the Army, you had your plan, you're talking about the tanks and all this machinery you were operating, and then when the opportunity arose, then and they assigned you to an IT task, you adapted yourself to it, and it served you well.
And it became my money move. Yeah.
Indeed. That's incredible. Wow. Okay, so you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. That's pretty awesome.
Project management kind of became a natural result of that, because in the beginning, it was the technology that was the hard part in delivering business value. But that metamorphosized over the next 2 decades into being the people were the issue of delivering business change. So even in an IT situation, if you want to, for example, launch a new database system and replace an old database system, the hard part isn't building the new system. It's getting all the people that used to work on the old system to adopt the new system. So it's much more about managing people, and it's much more about communication than it is about hooking, this database to this server and that kind of thing. Because generally now technology can all be hooked together. It can all be understood. It can all be figured out one way or another. And even if they need to make custom code, you can make the 2 systems talk. But if you want to deliver true business change, business value in an organization, you have to change the people. to adopt and to become proficient in the new system. And that's a hard thing to do because, they've learned this old system. They know how it works. They're comfortable with it. They're efficient with it. And the learning curve required to adopt the new system results in a drop in efficiency within the organization. And at the same time, it adds an additional workload on the organization. So you're asking people to work harder to achieve less, which generates a great deal of dissatisfaction and really it challenges people's own identity, right? People see themselves, they're comfortable when they feel that they're competent.
That's right.
Right. And you're challenging their competency because you're asking them to do something they've never done before. So they're no longer this professional at this level. They're this beginner at this level.
So how do you help them overcome that?
First thing is explaining that this process exists, that this situation exists, that yes, it is going to be difficult. And yes, it will take you more time. And yes, you're going to get frustrated, right? And then you tell them you're here to help them, right? And your people are here to help them. And we're going to do everything we can do to make that transition go easier for you. And then you also show them the light at the end of the tunnel, why we're doing this. And you better have some good reasons why you're doing it, right? It's not just because somebody decided they like SAP better than they like Oracle, right? So, what are the advantages to them that's going to come in the end? So you'll have this report, which will allow you to see this part of your business that you didn't see before, or you can push this button and run the report in 15 seconds, where it used to take you 5 days to put that report together. Things like that.
One thing you said there that caught me was that you put the support channels in place as well. So that's I think it's quite important. Whatever transition you're going through in life, maybe you have established habits and that got you somewhere in life where you're not necessarily happy and you want to change. Talking about the professional, personal life, and you want to change, you're going to get frustrated and uncomfortable with the new situation, but it's important to have like a support network that can help you achieve the new processes or the new ways that you're looking to implement, whether it is a system at your workplace or in your professional life.
And a final thing I think is also to set, when you're setting expectations, the Army has a system of training called crawl, walk, run. And so you break down the simplest tasks, you teach the simplest tasks, then you give them exercises to exercise those tasks, then you take them to the next level. And you continue to repeat that process of showing them, practicing with them, having them explain why it works, and explain the next step, and then you roll into the next one. And so you have to set that expectation with the users, and you have to set that expectation with the managers. So, managers have a tendency to read about some new computer system. They go, oh, right, we're going to be able to do this. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. It will have all these benefits. Yes, you will in 2 to 3 years. Right? Until that first year is basically lost. Your productivity is going to drop. Nobody wants to say it, but you got to be honest with yourself. That first adoption period, when you're taking the new system on and getting rid of the old system, is going to be chaotic and it's going to be frustrating. And you have, as a manager, it's your job to reduce that frustration and reduce that chaos as much as possible. But the real benefits start to come after the adoption of the system, and they started to work with it, and they start to get comfortable with it, and then they start to grow into the proficiency that they had prior to the new system or the old system.
Right. So like that's like valid with a career change as well, or like a change in your personal life as well. That there is like a drop if you start at a lower level, but then you work your way up, and maybe it will take you further in life as well. Again, whether it is like starting a leaving an old relationship, starting a new relationship, building it back up from the sketch, from the dating period, going through all the phases. But maybe you'll be happier in your new relationship as well, right?
And the key to that, to making that work, is to take what you've learned from the old relationship and check yourself and see how it applies to the new situation. I'm not saying everything you've learned in the old relationship is going to work the same because you have a new person, but or a new company, but there are certain things that you did well and certain things you didn't do well, and that you definitely want to make sure you don't repeat, right? So each time you have to have an honest look at yourself and a reflection and tune yourself for the next challenge.
Yeah, I think it's a very warrior quality to reflect on yourself, because whether we're going back to martial arts, if you don't reflect on your training and on what you do wrong in the training, then there is no growth. Then you don't develop, you don't go anywhere from there as well, right? Yeah. So again, it's a self-reflection is a very warrior quality, I believe.
And I think I don't know, all the martial arts, but I imagine, I know for example, with sword work, we'd get up, you'd always set challenges for yourself that you thought were, unrealistic, just to stretch your abilities. So, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and we're going to do 5,000 sword cuts today. 5,000 sword cuts. Holy shit. You're thinking 1, 2, 3, 5,000 times for an hour and a half. And you get done with it and you think, wow, we did that. We never thought we could have done that. It's outside of my perception of my own abilities to think that I could do that, or 100, say, doing 500 push-ups a day, whatever limits you set. You set a goal that's slightly higher than your comfort range, right? If you want to progress. If you only do what's comfortable, you'll never get any better.
Right. So get out of your comfort zones. All right. Very well. Thank you very much. So thanks for being with us and helping us with this interview. I was wondering, would you like to say something to the audience if they want to reach you for some IT projects? Perhaps where can they find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. It's under Lawrence Kwolek, and I'm there. But right now I'm taking up a new job, so I think I'm going to be offline for. Hopefully, I'll be offline for a couple of years. So let's see.
Great. Well, I hope that works out well for you. Thank you once again. If you guys liked our episodes, please hit like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future podcasts either. And you can learn how to awaken your inner warrior with us. Also, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you have any questions, share your opinion with us, and we'll be happy to respond. So thanks again, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry.
Good talking with you.
Begin your martial journey. Like, comment, subscribe.